This video is made for adult collectors because the show's older than me.
Kid signing off.
Jesus. What? That scared the hell out of me. This is a transformer. Well, if you're a regular here, you already knew that, but if you aren't, yeah, this mostly accurate kit is a robot in disguise. This is a really nice third gen, I think it's a third gen, Pontiac Firebird with a bit of a battery box chin, but it actually becomes this robot. This is Agent Knight, the most recent addition to the crossover line of Transformers, and it's an interesting one, and very cool. It looks amazing in car mode. Yeah, it has this little chin thing at the front, but I'm giving that a pass because the batteries do have to go somewhere, and I'd rather the wires not bend through the hinges if the batteries were in like his back or something. I dig the sculpting. They nailed all the lines and little raises in places like the hood. The lights at the front are nicely picked out in white. Even the deployable pop-out headlights, that's sick. The back of the car looks good too, with the tiny lip non-spoiler thing and the massive taillights that are painted. The blue windshield doesn't actually look that bad here. Granted, you can see some of the guts inside. It does add a bit more color to the alt mode that otherwise wouldn't have been here, so it makes it like stand out a bit more to me. I also dig the silver rims with the nicely sculpted and painted Pontiac logos. But yeah, this does have batteries, so let's see the lights and sounds. All right, let's just shut the door real quick. So he has a bunch of lights and sounds. Well, the lights are up here and they do the back and forth thing that Kid is known to do. And the sounds, which are really loud, like really loud. The speaker is like right here. So if you want to cover it, you can. But there's this little button right here, which I wish was a tiny bit cleverly hidden, but like, you know, it doesn't really stand out that much. I'm going to turn the lights off though. You're gonna have to deal with the yellow light in the room, but it just kind of, okay, it just kind of cycles through the same noises. Well, okay, the tablet I used to read my scripts has decided to just update. That's fun. But it just does that. It's cool. It's really cool. I like how they program the lights to go back and forth. That's very neat. But yeah, that's literally all it does is you press this button and, oh.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. And then after a certain, as you saw in the intro to this video, I didn't realize, at a certain point, it will just talk to you. It'll just be like, oh, I'm signing off, because that's the actual thing turning itself off. So it's not constantly running, which is nice. It has its own like little self timer in there to turn the lights and sounds off themselves, and it reactivates when you press this button. So that's cool. I love this car mode. It's a car that I already think looks neat, and this nails pretty much everything I want. Now robot time. All right, transformation. This is interesting because of one thing that people seem to make note of, and that is that the arms like to fall off. Because there's a very, very, very specific way you're supposed to take them out of this spot, and the instructions are not clear. So even I make this mistake every once in a while. You just pull them and the arms fall off. So to start with, what we're going to do is remove the guns, which cleverly store to be the tailpipe. I love when they do that with Transformers. That's awesome. You can leave the watch on for like the entirety of everything. It doesn't really get in the way at all, but the guns, they have to come off. And we will open the doors. There it goes. Open the doors. That's one door. That's the other door. Cool. The doors are open. Now we'll tackle the arms. So the instructions just kind of tell you to pull them out, and if you pull them out, okay, it won't do it then. Come on, arm. The arms are supposed to fall off. It won't fall off. What the hell? This is the arm on mine that always falls off. What is happening here? So you pull it up, and then you just, yeah, there you go. It'll just like come off if you do it wrong. But if you notice right here,
It's on a hinge and another hinge. It's on a double hinge. So what you're supposed to do, or at least what I've found that works the best for me, is you get the doors open. You take it, right, and you shift it. Well, you unpeg it, you bring it up just ever so slightly, and then you shift it on that double hinge and just sort of finagle it out. And there we go. It is out. It takes a little bit of effort to like figure this out and to do it, and you have to do it slow. But when you do that, the arms don't fall off. And I think that's how it's supposed to be done, but the instructions are just, they don't point it out because it's kind of hard to point that out in pictures. But yeah, there's a double hinge assembly and you're supposed to shimmy it and sort of like flip it out using that double hinge. Don't just pull it out because then the arm falls off. But once you've got that done, we're going to open this section up and then you're going to push this little trapdoor piece for the hood out. Then you want to come up here and split the top and that'll all just fold down. We're going to flip up the head and rotate it around. And then we're going to take the legs and bring them out. Now, the torso section. This trapdoor piece is going to slide into that little tab right there. And then these little top parts here are going to sort of sit into bits underneath here. And you want to make sure everything lines up perfectly. Otherwise, it will sit on a slight angle and be annoying. So you get all that sort of squeezed together. Then we're going to fold the feet down, flip out the toes, close up this leg section here, rotate the waist 180 degrees, split the legs, just get everything sort of nice and proper. Now the back. This does spin 180 degrees to sit flat like this. However, I don't really like that because it just looks like this is hanging down here. So what I do is I leave it this way and sort of just tuck it in like that. It sort of makes everything, give it a bit more of like a shape at the back here, and then you can flare the door wings out. And that's Knight Rider. Or Agent Knight, I should say. It looks cool. I mean, the transformation is really simple, but it's fun to do so long as you know how to do the arms properly, because every once in a while, I'll still find myself ripping them off by accident. I think it's just because the socket that the ball goes into is a little too shallow. It needed to be a little deeper so it could actually grip the ball and stay in place.
It's a simple enough conversion, a little generic, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it, leading to this really cool looking robot with blue shorts. Why the blue shorts? It's like my only visual thing that I find weird in terms of color. It's not horrible, it's just weird. Why does he have blue shorts? I dig everything else though. It's very Prowl-y, and I like that, with the nice sculpted lines and little bits of color dotted throughout. I will say some of the details can feel a bit lost in the black plastic, and I wish there was a tiny bit more paint, but licensing budget probably sucked most of that away. Head sculpt is cool. I love the red shades and the shape of the head with the silver face. The door wings can Bumblebee movie if you fold them backwards, if you like pull the back out and fold the wings in, so that's neat. And he comes with this little watch thing and 2 guns. You can tell I've never actually seen this show before. I just like the car a lot. But his articulation's actually kind of neat. Like, I wasn't expecting it to go this hard in some areas.
So Knight Rider's this is Agent Knight, not Knight Rider. Agent Knight's articulation is, as you saw, quite good for a crossover toy. So the head can rotate left and right. It can look up that far and down none. No tilt to speak of, even though it is on a ball joint, which is a little annoying. Shoulders are on ball joints. They can do a full 360. You have access to these like double hinges to shift things out. They go out about that far. You do have a bicep rotation that's very stiff. Good Lord. You have a little bit over 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. You do have a wrist rotation. You have a waist rotation. This crotch flap can move up a little bit, but it really isn't necessary. The leg still goes forward that far. It goes a little bit more up if you move the crotch flap, but that's as far as it goes forward. Go back that far, in and out. You have your thigh rotation. A little bit over 90 degrees of bend at the knee. And then the ankles, they can go down. They cannot go up, but you do have quite a nice ankle pivot, and then the toes can bend down if you want. I don't find that useful at all, but he's very, oh, and the door wings. The door wings can swivel and can go in and out. So you have a lot of nice posing on this thing. Like you can make him look however you want on a shelf, and he's very stable too. So he'll like stand there. Like I got him on 1 foot the other day. Like it was great. He's very nice to pose. I really like this thing.
So yeah, it's a lot of money for something like this, but it is the size of an MP car bot, and it has working lights and sounds, not to mention it's chunky and it's licensed, so I get the price, and I like it a lot. I dig this figure. It's shot up, I think, to being my favorite crossover they've put out thus far. Yeah, the arm transformation is a tiny bit annoying if done wrong, and it's pretty easy to get wrong. I still do it from time to time. But as a whole, I still really like this figure and recommend it if you're either into Knight Rider, into the crossovers, or just want a big chunky car transformer that can scream at you. But that's my look at Transformers Crossovers Agent Knight. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.